welcome to my channel. My name is Pamela and this is Teacher Pamela Plans, where we do everything from planning ideas, teaching ideas, crafting, dreaming, and so much more. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be crafting some cards, thank you cards, as I have been dealing with losses in the family and have received some cards and gifts and things like that. And so I thought it would be a fun idea to do some crafting of some cards. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using today to create this fun card that you could use for multiple things. So this doesn't have to be, a thank you necessarily for the situation that I've been going through, but you could use this for lots of different things. Okay, so I have this set from Simon Says Stamp. I use a lot of Simon Says Stamp. I used to do their boxes. So this is from one of their old boxes. It's called Look for the Rainbow. So I'm going to be using this stamp set. I'm going to be using some Simon Says Stamp embossing powder. I'm going to be using this colorful rainbow paper, and this is from American Crafts, the Damask Love Set. I'm also going to be using this beautiful embossing folder. I put paper in there so you can see it a little bit better. This was in one of the Simon Says Stamps Garden Greetings themed box, but this is called Blossom Field Embossing Folder. And so that's what I'm going to be using other than cardstock. I've got some rainbowy sequins here I'm going to use, some foam tape maybe, perhaps, and some glue dots, things of that nature. So things that we already probably have on hand. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with this. I already cut my paper into a panel that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I've stuck it inside this embossing folder. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss that for you, and let's check out what it's going to look like. And then I also have scored this card. So I'm just going to use a white background, and this is going to be an 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, so that way I can just fold it where I've scored it, and this will be my whole card panel. So let's get started on the embossing. So this is the card panel and how it turned out. So beautiful. Loving that embossing. And you just, for those of you that don't know how to use it, you just take it through your little Sizzix machine and it shows you on the directions of what you need to use, because depending on if you're using an embossing folder or what you're using exactly is to how you put it in the machine. Okay, so now we have that. Gorgeous. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding some rainbow flair to this. Okay, so that's where I'm going to be using this paper. Okay, so I'm going to cut it, and I'm just going to add kind of a banner across the middle here. So I think I'm going to make a 1 1/2 strip. And I'm just going to kind of see if that's what I want as far as how big it is. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to tape across the top there. All right, I'm going to glue this down in the center. Line it up so I can find my center here. And then I think I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to take this and trim it off. So there's the middle part. Now, for my message here, I'm going to emboss look for the rainbows on there. So I'm going to take this and it says look for the rainbows. That's going to be my sentiment. And I'm going to emboss it in white. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a stamp here. I'm going to center it up. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put, get that on there straight. That's what I love about this. It has grid lines so you can get it on there nice and straight. I'm going to use my Versamark ink. I have this static pillow so that basically you just kind of put it on there so that the embossing doesn't get all over the place. It just gets where you want it to go. Okay, so I kind of put that on there and it'll come off. It's just powder. And I'm going to stamp my Versamark look for the rainbows right in the middle. Or maybe to the side. I haven't decided kind of how I want to do it yet. I think I'll do it down at the bottom here. And I want to get it nice and juicy. So I'm pressing it down pretty firmly. Okay, and then I'm going to add some embossing powder. Now what I like to use is I like to use a little coffee and then it doesn't pour everywhere. And it just goes right back into there. Pat it. And then I'm going to heat this up. And this is so enjoyable. I just find it so relaxing to when you're heat embossing as the color comes up. It's just gorgeous. It's fun. So I have a heat tool here and that's going to help me heat up this and it's just going to melt it. And it's just so fun and gorgeous. So I'm going to get this heat up. White's a little bit trickier to watch, but you can definitely see how bright it shows up. I mean, how fun is that? Fun. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add in some beautiful butterflies. So before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get this card panel onto the front of my card here, okay? So I wanna make sure that I get that on there. Go ahead and fold that over. And I'm going to get this onto the front so that way while I'm putting the other things on there, it's not difficult. This part will be easier to get it all together once I get it on there. All right. This is a very simplistic card that anyone could do. Kind of making it easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. We're going to get this card panel on here. This is going to make it a pretty thick front, but that's okay. Kind of want it to pop a little bit. That's fun. All right, so there's the front of our card, and now we are going to add some cute little butterflies also to the front here because we're looking for those rainbows in those little places that we can find them, okay? I'm gonna go back to my stamp set and I'm gonna go back to this colorful paper here. And so I'm actually going to be taking the stamps and putting them in the different colors here for the butterflies. I think I'm just going to use a small butterfly and just stamp it multiple times. Maybe probably like 3 would be good. So I already have this paper already from the panel, so I can use maybe one of the butterflies in there, but I want to get some of those other colors in there too, okay? All right, so I'm going to actually Versamark these as well. So I'm going to get out my static tool and put a little bit of it on here. And then I'm going to stamp with my Versamark again, my butterfly. And I want to kind of get some of the different colors here. So I'm kind of deciding where exactly I want to stamp it. Maybe like here. So it gets multiple colors on that. Right. And then there it is. So cool. You can't really see it very well, but if you look at it, you can see it's pretty powdery looking. And then when I melt it, it's gorgeous. Let's melt it up. Sometimes it helps to put it underneath so that your paper doesn't fold as much. And sometimes it helps also to hold it when it's a smaller piece of paper. I'm gonna grab one here. So your hands don't get so hot. You can also use like some tweezers or things like that. I'm gonna get my tweezers out, and then that way I don't burn my hands. A beautiful butterfly. Okay, and then I'm gonna fussy cut that out. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple more of those. I'm gonna use the bottom of the paper to do a couple more, and then that way it is gonna be different colors. So I already have some like green and yellow. So I already have kind of this right here. So I'm gonna move over a little bit and do one here. And do one like a little bit towards the orange too. All right, let's heat those up. All right, so I'm gonna get my fussy cutting scissors and cut those out. Doing a little bit of cleanup here. And there's our cute butterfly. I love it. I'm loving them. They look adorable. So adorbs. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these lovely butterflies kind of around. And with those, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of bend them up a little bit. So I'm gonna use some little glue dots on the back of them here. So I have my little glue dots, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put those on the back of the butterfly and then kind of fold the butterfly up a little bit so that it looks like he's flying. Just stick him up a little bit, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put them in different spots around our card. kind of in the center. Getting glue dots stuck on me. All right, move that over a little bit. Sticking it to the center. And then we stick it onto that paper. All right. So this one I think I'm going to put down here. And then maybe another one right there. This one got away from me a little bit. There we go. Cute. I love this one. I don't know. I just love the colors. I think that's why, because pink's my favorite color. Purple. These are like all three my favorite colors. Purple, teal, and pink are my favorite. My like 3 favorite colors. Pink by far the #1, but I love all those. All right, so I'm gonna bend it up, stick it on the glue dot. Stick it to the paper. I think I'm gonna put this one like just up a little bit, but like still on the bottom here. Yes, like they're all kind of flying that way. Kind of cool. Okay, then I am loving this. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we are going to add in a couple little sequins for the front. So let's see. And I'm not gonna add too much because we already got quite a bit of like flair with those going on. Just a couple little add-ons here. Probably a pink. Like I want different sizes here. A red maybe. Ooh. Maybe that tiny pink instead of the big pink. Well, I don't know. I really kind of only want like a couple. So maybe 4 tops. And then I like to kind of put them out because sometimes I go overboard with these and then it's like, oh my gosh, that's like so many. Too many sparkles, so where am I going to put them kind of a thing. I kind of want a teal one, see what I mean? Like I just go too far. And this is going to be a little tricky because the embossing. So to make it like glue on there. Maybe I'll put a couple down here. Oh my goodness. I want a teal. Small one or big one? I don't even know if the blue would like, yeah, I mean, it goes pretty well. I'm just with the embossing, it's kind of tricky here. That looks nice. Although I feel like there's some glue from like past on here. Like what is up? Like this one's a little glommy looking. I feel like I want one more. Like an orange. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to kind of put them in, like put them there. If I don't do this, you guys, like I go overboard and I get like 20 on there and it looks horrible because I just like, I'm like, wait, I need this one here. No, that doesn't look good. So then I have to like kind of readjust and like try to figure it out. And it, then it's just like overboard. Overkill. Okay. I love this glue, you guys. So this is the glue that I've been using, Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. So like you can use this for like all the little teeny things because it has multiple choices for nozzles. So like this just kind of stays on there to keep it sealed and closed. And then I have like a really fine detailed nozzle. So you can use that, which is really awesome for things that need, you know, detail, like really tiny things. That's what's really cool, is like it's got kind of a medium tip and a really fine tip, so you can use it for these sequins. And a really fine tip, so you can use it for these sequins. Okay, now I put way too much on there because I was like, it's not coming out. So I gotta use two things here to kind of get it off and get it where I want it. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of this to clean up my mess. All right. I just want to make sure it's not going to look like too much. And I'm loving this. So cute. Okay. So I kind of want to move those over a little bit. See, this is where I start to go like, no, I need more. And then it goes crazy. So I'm going to let it be because I really would like that over. But it's hard with the embossing to get it glued on there very well. Okay, so I'm liking that. So I'm going to keep it like that. And then on the inside, I'm going to do some other fun things. Let me get this cleaned up really quick. All right, so now we are gonna move on and we're gonna go to the inside of the card. So on the inside of the card, I'm just gonna put like a thank you. So I'm gonna be really careful not to like smash that part. So I'm just gonna leave it kind of open. I'm gonna put a thank you. I'm just gonna use black ink for the inside. My stamp washer is really, really, really wet. And then I'm gonna put some of the butterflies on the inside as well. So it'll give it a little bit of a cute feel. I always like to put kind of things on the inside of the card too and not make it plain. It's my signature, if you will. Okay, so let's get out the stamp set again. So I'm just gonna put the, I'm gonna put the thank you there because I'm saying thank you to everybody. And this is just in a really cute script. I like it. It just says thank you, and then I'm going to add some of those butterflies in the middle. And I'm using my stamp mat, whatever you want to call it, rag, I guess, to clean off my stamps. It's a little, I got it a little too wet. You want it to be kind of not as wet so it doesn't drip water everywhere. But I think with these, and also like then when you go to stamp again, it doesn't do a crisp thing because it's got water on it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do like it kind of going across there. Like they're flying across, going different ways. yeah, I just have them going like that. Kind of cute. Just adding a little bit of something, right? Okay, letting that dry. And that is our Look for the Rainbows thank you card. All right, I hope you enjoyed this crafting with me, and I hope to see you all soon. Don't forget, like and subscribe below. I'd love any comments of anything that you would like to see moving forward. Also, as always, keep dreaming. See you next time.